Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. For the Grue Rume Show today, I got some of the cast of this new horror film that would be coming out from One Tree Entertainment, and it's called Mauler, Mauler, like being mauled. And I'm going to be having Kate Noel, who plays Michelle, Sarah Silverson, who plays Jen, and maybe Skylar, who plays Jada. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show, and my interview be coming up very soon. So stay tuned. And as always, my gruelings, welcome to my nightmare. So stay tuned here. All right, welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for you both coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes, of course, of course.
Thank you.
Thanks. So, I guess the first question I want to start out asking you both basically is how did you find out about this horror slasher film and get cast as the leads?
Do you want to start, Kate?
Sure. Okay, so I think I found it on Actors Access. I don't know, this was a while ago, so I'm trying to refresh my own memory. I just found it myself, I think. Maybe my agent sent it to me. I don't really remember. But I just was really interested in, I can't remember like the description or anything like that, but I knew it was definitely like a horror movie based on the sides. And I love that kind of stuff. Like, I like screaming, and I feel like, that sort of like level of energy. So that's how I found it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I found it kind of the same way. It was on Actors Access or Backstage or
Okay.
something. And yeah, I remember reading it and being like, ooh, a horror movie. I can scream. Let's audition. So yeah, and that's how it started.
Right, there you go. And for anyone who's like watching the movie or seeing the movie, it's basically a film that starts out. We have this young guy who kills his dad to save his mom, and basically gets brainwashed by his grandmother into this violent religion that she's part of. And do you both feel like, of course, like the grandmother is the reason that he grew up to be the way he is?
Ooh, good question. Um, Honestly, I think there's a lot that goes into it. I think, yes, the grandma kind of enforced it a little bit. But I do think that, he was witnessing his father abuse his mom, and, that
Mhm.
takes a toll on a kid. So I think there's a lot that goes into it. But yeah, I do think the grandma kind of was like, ooh, okay, let's go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would be interested in like the backstory of down the road if there's another movie. I would be interested in that plot. What's happening there, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's a whole movie by itself. Like him growing up with in that house with the father and mother, like that. That's like a whole nother film.
Yeah, for sure.
And Steve Steve O's the one who actually like looks up the house and the whole back story with Mauler and the grandmother and the parents and everything, and he decides, oh, it's a good idea to go on the dark web and cash in, and he gets the group together, and and what are your thoughts on that? Like this, I mean, this whole group knows like what happened in that house, and they're still willing to go just for what, 25,000, I think it was, right?
Mhm. Yeah. I think as like a like as myself, obviously that I'm like, why would you ever do that? Because when you think about it, 25K is not that much. But I guess when
No.
you're that age, when you're kind of younger, it's like doesn't really matter. If it's anything above $1,000, it's like totally worth it. But I think my character is just like, obviously she's drinking and very, oblivious to very oblivious to anything that's not in this exact present moment. So I think my character is like very go with the flow. I don't want to say she's like not smart, because I think she is, but I think, it just, there wasn't a lot of thought behind my character's judgment. Yeah.
When it comes to my character, I think I was kind of the only one who showed a little hesitancy to go into this house. I don't know. I think I was kind of always the one that's like, we can leave. Let's go. And everyone's like, no, let's get the 25K. I'm like, maybe not. We shouldn't do that. So, yeah, I don't know. I was the opposing force, I guess.
Right? Yes, exactly. and that's so true, because like when they first get to the house, like they basically hear this guy screaming for his life, and the killer, of course, is torturing this guy because he thinks he's a drug user. And hearing those screams, like Jen's the only one that's like, let's leave this. You don't hear what I'm hearing. Like, we need to go home now. But, she stays because the group stays. And and why do you think they all stayed and didn't run away screaming and going home hearing all those screams?
Honestly, I think they're just such a tight little knit group. We're all family, and I don't think we were going to leave anyone behind, So I think for my character, at least, she was like, okay, obviously they're going. I'll stay in the car. I'll be here, but I'm not doing that. But I don't think any of our characters would ever want to leave each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jen had like a lot at stake. So I don't think Jen was interested in, at least in my perspective, I don't think she was interested in being alone, like,
yeah.
Everyone kind of got like swept up in, obviously, like as we continued on, it was more difficult to get out, I know. So I think by the time our group knew what was really going on was like, in the garage, where we obviously couldn't get away because Jen got snatched. Yeah. So
I got snatched.
And like, what was that like on set? Like the first time you see, I mean, basically this guy Mauler, the killer, like it's this giant of a man holding a sledgehammer, like. That has to be frightening to watch. Like the first time you lay eyes on this guy on set.
Breck?
Like
No, Breck is literally the biggest sweetheart ever. And so we got to know him obviously before he got, all the tats, all the stuff. So we just were like, oh, he's so sweet. And then he came on and he has the sledgehammer, and he's, yelling at us, and we're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like Breck is an amazing actor. So this is not to say that, but it was really hard to be scared of him. He's like, when he's so respectful. Like there's a scene at the end when he's literally choking me, and how can you make that like respectful? And he did. He was like, is it okay if I put my hands on your neck? And I was like, I think you have to. I think I think that's necessary. And I was like, yeah. So it's not easy to be like, watching the movie back, he's very scary, like
I know very scary.
On set, it was scary to see him like, in the costume and everything, but like he's just so nice. So it was like, we all felt really comfortable with each other.
Yeah, no, he kind of did the same thing when he snatched me. In between every take, he's like, "Are you okay? Like, are we, like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to ask me. And he's like, I'm going to though. And I'm like, you're so sweet.
I mean, I love horror movies that have like that kind of theme, like that when it involves like religion and like religious cults and people killing for the sake of sinning and religion. Like those movies to me always scare you the most because it's like real, because like this could really happen to like people and cults and stuff like that, like Freddy Krueger and Jason, like that stuff. If that happens, like I don't know, but I mean that stuff is more like not real, but like religious cults like killing people because they think they're sinners. That's actually real. That happens in some towns.
The movie is pretty scary.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I watched The Grudge for the first time last year.
Yeah.
And I slept with the lights on. I'm not gonna lie. I was unwell. So
totally.
Well, are there any horror films that you both watched to get ready for this film?
Ooh. I don't remember.
I can't remember either. Probably. I
think so.
I don't remember intentionally watching any horror movies, but I've watched them like my whole life. So I feel like, I've seen most of like the classic ones and all like I feel like it's like the Halloween movies, like that vibe really, I kind of thought about those movies because I feel like that's like a little bit similar with the whole man killer,
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure I watched some stuff. It was a while ago, so I don't remember the specifics, but I love watching like thrillers and, like the Killers on the Loose kind of movies, like Scream or Halloween. So I probably watched some of those and I just did my best, I guess.
And was there a scene that you both had the most fun shooting?
Honestly, anything with the five of us was so much fun. We all just clicked really well, like day one. It was like we'd known each other for a long time. So any scene that we were all together was always so, so, so much fun. And also I had some stunts and stuff, so that was really fun to do. Some stage combat.
You did your own stunts.
I did, yeah. We all did, honestly. So
okay.
yeah, so those were really fun too. So I think those were my two things that I found the most fun.
Yeah. Me too. I agree. It was actually pretty sad, like when our characters, like my friends were dying, like it was actually like very like sad, because a lot of the film was shot kind of chronologically, like it wasn't absolutely chronological, but by the end of the shoot, like my friends were dead. So it was like really like, I was like, I really miss my cast, they like made it really special. Like we had like a little green room and I just like loved, we got really close. Like Sarah said, like we really were like rehearsing together in there. We were like practicing our screams in there. We were like getting each other pumped up, and you remember that? It was,
yes.
It was also, some of the stuff was in night. It was like night shoots. So it was like 3 a.m. and we're like, Sebastian's like chugging like a bunch of like monsters. And I'm like, give me some of that. We had like, we were just really great together. So I agree I think all the shots that we were together was the best.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And where did you both where did you wind up shooting at? And did you get a chance to like go out and explore the town, have dinner, drinks, stuff like that?
We were shooting in I think Mid-City. And it was just like a neighborhood. It was a really nice neighborhood with houses around. And like I said, because we were shooting, I think we like got coffee and breakfast a couple times when we had some breaks, but we were for the most part chilling because it was usually like I don't know, like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. or
Oh,
something like that. Like maybe not that long, but it was usually when everything was kind of closed. So we all just wanted to go home and like beat the traffic, like beat the rush hour traffic in the morning, and like get
yes.
some sleep. But we did adventure a little bit, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think like you said, I think we like ran out and got coffee and did a few things, but yeah, it was mostly night shoots, so like she said, it was like 7 to 7. So we didn't really have much time afterwards to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
It was
like it.
time for bed.
Yeah, definitely. What did you both love most about like actually filming a horror film and being in a horror film?
Honestly, the people. I think horror films, like there's this special something in the air.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
because it's such high stakes all the time in a horror movie, right? So it's always
yeah.
like you're going, going, going. So I think everyone kind of, I don't know, it's just like such a collaborative process of just when it's cut, like everyone's just like laughing and like having such a good time. And especially with this cast and crew, like I you could talk to anyone and you would just end up laughing. And it was just like so amazing. But yeah, I think usually it's the people because usually with horror, they're really passionate
Oh
and
yeah.
it's such a cool vibe to be on set and just be involved in that. So that's what I love about it. And screaming. So
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. I second that. Definitely the people. I think all of us, like the cast and the crew, and like Terrence and everyone, we're all really open to like collaboration and just really open to
Hmm.
hearing our thoughts. And I think all of us like really used our like we were all 100% in, and it was like really nice to be on a set where we all were like really passionate and had collaborative ideas. And I feel like we also were like it's not easy to shoot these types of films. And so
Oh no.
we were just really like respectful of each other and really encouraging, like I said, like encouraging on set and off of set, just trying to really make sure everyone had what they needed, right? Like it was just really supportive and yeah.
Okay. And like especially being in a horror film, did you both have like a song list that you liked listening to while you were on set to get to get to get you ready to scream and be chased by a 7 foot killer?
I don't think I did. I feel like I thrived in the silence until we got there. And honestly, we screamed like a lot, like I said, to practice in the green room.
Hmm.
And we also had a stunt coordinator there who was also in the movie, and Adam, and he like really had us practicing. Like we were always warm and always like physically warm. And I feel like our brains were like always warm, we were ready to go. So I don't think I had any music, but we definitely did like practice the screams.
Okay.
uh, I might have had like a little playlist like for outside of set. But once I got on set, it was, I don't know, just like being in the house, being with everyone, it kind of was easier for me to just like jump into character. And
Hmm.
like Kate said, we were always warm, we were always running around, we were always doing something, we were always chatting, we were always running around. So I don't know, just being with everyone and usually again it's at night, so it's just a little extra spooky. I don't know. I just being on set just got me into character, I guess, with everyone.
Nice. And this has nothing to do with the movie. What would be your go-to karaoke song if you were gonna do one?
Mine is Love After, what is it? Life After Love by Cher. Is that the name of the song?
Oh, wait,
It's like, do you
do
believe
you
in love?
believe,
Oh, do
yeah.
you believe in love? That's such a good one.
It's honestly a
Um,
really good one. I give it away if anyone else wants to use it. I can't claim it.
I my school that I went to, they would have us warm up to that song. So that's
Oh
all
my
I think
God,
of when I
nice.
hear.
Oh,
So I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh, what would I think? Hmm, I don't know. I like older music. So maybe like House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I
nice.
don't know.
Nice.
I don't know.
That was a very Michelle. That was a very Michelle answer, I'm realizing. And yours was kind of a Jen answer.
Honest, we are our characters. Let's be real.
A little bit.
And I guess like the last question I'll ask you both basically is where can fans follow you and keep up with stuff that you got?
My Instagram is Kate Noel __. The Kate Noel and the Kate Noel underscore was taken. I took not a complete break, but I have kind of been like not posting as much lately, been like living in the real world, but that's definitely where I would post updates in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram under Sarah Sivo. So yeah, I don't post as much as I should. I'm really bad about it. So, but I always post projects. So
Oh, of course. There you go.
there we go. That's half of my page, I swear.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for taking time and doing this. Like it definitely was fun to talk horror. So thanks so much for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
It's fun. Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you.
Definitely. Well, have an amazing day and weekend.
You too.
Likewise.
Thank you.